Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. Videos today from Modern King. Delusional woke feminist thinks all men should be homeless. Gets destroyed. Please extract them below. I really appreciate it. Let's get it. Chow. It's Chow time.
Men need to toughen up, and I think if men were forced to be homeless, they would learn how to be better men.
50-50 divorces aren't fair. Stay-at-home moms should be given 100% of everything in divorce and should be awarded alimony for life.
Make men worship you.
It is all men until proven otherwise.
I think that men need to toughen up, and I think if men were forced to be homeless, they would learn how to be better men.
Say what?
Because that's what made men manly in the past, was having to build houses and stuff.
And stuff.
What?
Yeah, that's not what made men manly.
If we just made men be homeless for like a year, I think it would fix a lot of problems.
That would
with
be
society.
so good, especially because we're not.
And this idiot right here, co-signs this idiocracy of putting a whole swath of group of people to make them homeless. Imagine if we said this with any other group of people. Black people, white people, Asian people, gay people, trans people. How fast would people get canceled immediately? But when it comes to men, but they're just trash anyways, huh? We can talk shit about them.
We don't force men to do military anymore like they used to. They make them homeless for a year. Let's see how they fucking.
Yeah, make them just figure it out.
What? No, they can't be serious.
They are.
And make them homeless in a country where they don't know the language, and that way they really have to go through something, and then maybe they can
be appreciative.
Wait, so what if we apply that same logic to women to
Right?
toughen them up a little bit and give them a good dose of the reality that they actually live in? You know, take their rights away for a year so they can actually understand how not oppressed they really are in this country. Oh, wait, that probably wouldn't go over very well, would it? No. But then again, hearing stuff like this come out of some women's mouths does make me really appreciate how some can actually perceive women as illogical and irrational.
You know what's funny? The same women who say these types of things are the same ones that think roads magically build themselves. And like Lady J said, if we used their own logic against them, they would have a meltdown about it.
50-50 divorces aren't fair. Stay-at-home moms should be given 100% of everything in divorce and should be awarded alimony for life.
You serious?
First, a little bit of
So the man should just work for everything he has, and then as soon as he gets married, he loses everything automatically and then has to pay her for the life. So he becomes a slave, period. You just want slaves. You just want men to be slaves to you.
for background.
We don't care.
Remember, gentlemen, these women don't want to go 50-50 until it's time for divorce. But sometimes 50% isn't even enough. And they want everything you have because it's so unfair that they have to get a job and be the strong, independent women they claim to be.
It's true.
80% of stay-at-home moms have zero retirement, which is why elderly females are the most vulnerable.
This kind of mindset is just a me mentality, and she's not in it for the we in the family dynamic.
Nope.
Because why the hell are you in a marriage if you're already thinking about your exit plan? Because thinking about your retirement or any money that you would have in case this man is not around or in case you get divorced means that you're already thinking about it. And you think about it enough, eventually you're going to follow through with it.
Correct.
And why the hell would you be entitled to 100% when he's busting his ass every single day to give you everything that you want? And it's not his fault that you resent having children because you feel like you missed out on life. It's not his fault that you feel like you need to get paid for having his...
That's a lot of women now, guys, that get kids and they feel like they see all these young women partying and having a great time. They resent having their kids because their kids are a burden. That's how women view kids now, guys. They're burdens. Back in the day, all the women loved kids. Every time they saw kids, they were all, oh, kids. Now, all the women I see, when they see kids, they're like, ugh! Is that the reaction you want women and future mothers to have around kids?
His children. Do you see how selfish and delusional and entitled that is? He doesn't get paid for providing for you. He goes to a job. He misses milestones. He misses family events. He misses time with his family in order to give you what you need, and you just want to take it from him. Like, make it make sense. And imagine committing to somebody and telling them that you want to spend the rest of your life with them and committing to them in a marriage, but then simultaneously, when you feel resentment and you're upset at your lifestyle, you want to destabilize him to take 100% of everything that you guys have built together. That's selfish as hell. And what kind of person are you to say to yourself, oh, I want this man to suffer because I'm suffering, because I'm just a miserable ass human being?
Correct.
That's not love. That's not compassion. That's not empathy. And are you really looking at the best interest of your family and your kids if you're trying to destabilize the other side of the fence? Like, be for real. And in terms of alimony, if men are expected to pay their way after a divorce, then you should only get alimony for 1 freaking year. Get your together, grow up, get a job, make your own money, and stop depending on a man that you hated so much that you decided to break your family up and leave it behind, all for what, a freaking paycheck? Well, congratulations. Now you actually have to go work and stop being a mooch and a lazy wife and a human being to someone that tried to take care of you and have a family with you.
Damn.
Here's a map of registered sex offenders in Los Angeles. All these individual little dots. You wouldn't take those chances in a hypothetical situation, so women aren't going to take those chances in real life. For women, it is all men until proven otherwise. While women can be on this list, and it's possible, it's not as probable. And that's the point here. If the small percentage of women who do it upset you, then why wouldn't the large percentage of men who do it upset you too? Because you're not an advocate against assault. You're an advocate against women. And that's exactly what makes you good guys so dangerous.
You really want to know why men are sick of hearing this message? It is because you said, quote, why wouldn't the large percentage of men upset you too? When men know, you know, we all know that it is not the majority of men. Even when you run the numbers, look, I did a quick Google search and you guys can check me on this, but I found that there are 750,000 offenders in the US. Let's say about 75% of them are male, because apparently Google says 25% are female, for a grand total of 562,000. The total male population is 165 million. When you do the math, that is 0.34% of males. So I think it becomes pretty clear that this message is purely to demonize men and doesn't really have anything to do with keeping women safe.
Know that in the United States, 1 in 3 women feel really uncomfortable when you're in the apartment gym and a group of boys comes in when they can just go to the actual gym and never feel uncomfortable?
I got to grow up in a little bit different time. A time when men could have safe spaces, places to hang out, and work on whatever it is they wanted to work on without having to worry about women being around and doing what women do. Making it all about them. Which is why they went about making sure that any gym that catered primarily or only to men was targeted and harassed until they accepted women, while at the same time insisting that it's perfectly fine to have women-only gyms. The primary argument, of course, being that it's safer for women to have women-only gyms, while at the same time arguing that they want to be able to go to men's gyms because, well, they aren't dangerous? Female logic for you, right? And men were generally accepting of it, and we managed to peacefully coexist for a few years, but that had to come to an end also. Because not only did women want to have women-only gyms, they wanted to ensure that they had first right of refusal on the co-ed gyms, even going so far as to saying men shouldn't be allowed in them. And while they had some progress with that, it wasn't moving fast enough. They wanted to ensure that men weren't welcome in any gym. So they started using a new tactic, making shaming videos. They would set up cameras and start working out, taking hours and hours of video, waiting for that one guy that gave them a half-second glance. And then they would
We know this, guys. I cover these gym ones all the time.
Post that video online, claiming the guy was ogling them and harassing them, all in an attempt to shame him. But not just him, all men. All to make them afraid of going to the gym for fear of being doxxed online. They did and are doing everything to make the gyms as toxic for men as they possibly can so they can feel safer. I guess men feeling safe isn't part of the equation.
Nope.
So men got smart. They realized what was going on and retreated from the
Home
gym.
gym,
Decided to
bitches.
start working out at home, which if you have a garage is very easy to do. But if you don't, it gets a little more complicated. Fortunately,
It's okay. I got one room I rent for freaking $700. It's my studio, it's my bedroom, and it's my workout room. So fuck it. You don't need that much space, guys.
many complexes, apartment buildings, neighborhoods have gyms of their own, places guys could go and work out without having to worry about dealing with women at the gym. Well, now they're looking to take that away.
You know that in the United States, 1 in 3 women feel really uncomfortable when you're in the apartment gym and a group of boys comes in when they can just go to the actual gym and never feel uncomfortable?
Well, let's start by saying that 100 out of 100 women love to make statistics up and spout them as if they're the truth, when in reality it's just a fantasy she created in her mind. But let's get to the heart of what she said, which is that women feel uncomfortable when boys come into the gym. Unless you think this is a one-off video, let me give you exhibit number 2.
The pick-me men have got to get out of the apartment gym.
The pick-me men? You mean the men that have happy, healthy relationships? Something which you'll never have because of your obvious toxicity?
I love this gentleman.
Please continue.
I was just in the apartment gym and I was doing my thing, okay? I was 25 minutes into my lift. You know, I was doing like little baby curls and I was even going for like the lateral lunge, which I'm not that confident in.
Oh my. So she did a few bicep curls and a few laterals. La-di-freaking-da. There's nothing special about that. People do them every single day. And what they have to do with the rest of what you're saying, I don't know. But continue.
3 men walk in.
Oh my God.
Like, kind of like 25. And I'm like,
Notice what she did there. They walked in the gym. They didn't say anything to her. They didn't do anything to her. And horror of horrors, they happen to be about 25. Ooh.
don't we know that the apartment gyms are for the girls?
No, they're not. This is a beautiful example of the mindset today's modern women have. And why I say men should never trust a woman. Any woman. Because they're all capable of having...
I say it all the time, guys. I don't trust women. I don't trust anybody. Especially women. Until they prove otherwise.
This mindset. We can never know which ones will and which ones won't. And the ones that don't will often acquire it. Put another way, it's all women till it's no women.
Damn right.
If you have a problem with me saying that, let me remind you, women have been saying it's all men till it's no men for decades, and nobody batted an eye about it. The reality in this case is the one who's dangerous in that room is her. She's already shown that she'll make presumptions and assumptions about men, and from there it's a very small leap to making an actual false allegation.
Damn
she
right.
is an absolute risk to those 3 men who happen to walk into that gym. Not them, her. And the fact that she feels entitled to that space, that it should be hers and hers alone and no men should be allowed, and the fact that those men paid to use that space just like she did through dues or HOA fees is irrelevant to her. Her sense of entitlement says it's her space and hers alone, simply because she's decided she's afraid. Not based on anything they said or anything they did, but simply because they happen to be men. It is pure, unadulterated sexism.
The entitlement has gone to space, right? These women really think that they've inherited the earth, that the earth is made for women, and men get to live in it. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.